Hey, hello everyone. So if you're comfortable to sit on your shins, you're going to come to sit into your hero pose. You may want to just pop a pillow underneath your sitting bones between your heels and your bum to make it a bit more comfortable, or you're very welcome to sit in a cross-leg position if that is more appropriate for your knees and ankles. Whatever position you've chosen, you're going to lift the spine up nice and tall, trying to match the back of the skull up with the base of the tailbone so that your spine is in a neutral position. Let's bring the hands to face up, and you can have the fingers extended, creating a nice soft alignment into the hands. Gently closing your eyes. And take a few moments to connect into your breath. Start to become observant of how you're feeling in this moment. And become aware of what you are in need of today. Maybe it's energy. Maybe it's calm. Maybe you are in need of compassion for yourself or someone else. There's no right or wrong answer here. Once you have identified what you are in need of, start to deeply breathe that into your body. And as you exhale, feel that move around the shell of your body. With each inhale, drawing a little bit more in. And with each exhale, spreading it around your physical and energetic being. And notice how your mind manifests this idea. Is it a color, an image, a feeling? And now turning your mind's eye to the space between your eyebrows. Set an intention for this morning. This can be in the form of a sankalpa, or maybe just a thought. Keeping your focus on this point, deeply inhale. Inhale a little bit further. A little bit further. Until you're at maximum capacity, and then keep the breath in, chin to chest. Softly release the air as you turn your chin back to center. Take another few breaths here to try and normalize and regulate your breath again. And then gently opening up your eyes. We're going to move straight into downward facing dog from here. If you've been sitting into Virasana, you're going to have to move very slowly as you allow the blood to start moving down the legs. So sliding the hands forward, gently tucking the toes, keeping the knees bent as you lift your hips up and back. Working into a gentle rolling pattern of movements. You can heel toe the legs, swing the hips, undulate the spine. Take any sort of movement that works for you this morning. Noticing where you feel tight, where you feel open. Where you need to send energy and where you have a storage of excess energy. And this is a really personal set of movements here, moving in any way that speaks to you. The movements can be big, they can be small. As long as you're connecting your movement and your breath, there's no right or wrong here. Maybe even practicing with your eyes closed, so that you are internalizing the sensations that you feel, not moving in a way in which you think you should be moving, but rather moving in a way that your intuitive body wants to be moved. Taking a few more breaths here. And then when you are ready, making your way into a still downward facing dog. Engaging into the legs and core, lengthening the shoulders and arms, allowing your neck to be soft. Let's walk the hands back to the toes at the end of the mat and hang into a ragdoll here, knees bent and holding onto opposite elbows. Let your torso become heavier and heavier, melting to the earth. Start to sway gently from one side to the other. And again, there's a huge amount of variability in how you want to sway. Connect in with what feels good and experiment a little bit. What happens if you drop the arms or lift the arms? What happens if you rotate your head in one way or in a different way? Are both your knees bent, or is one bent, one straight? Maybe you want to add in a little pulse or a bounce. Then eventually coming to the center, dropping the hands down and curling your way up. Bend your knees deeply. Press into the heels, lifting from the shoulders and coming all the way up to stand. Let's float the hands overhead. Hook the thumbs above you, spreading the fingers wide. Draw the shoulder blades back and down, leaning over to one side. Coming to center and over to the other side. Inhaling to the center, release the hands, bend your knees, tucking chin to chest as you roll yourself back down again. Walking your hands into downward facing dog. And in your down dog, let's heel toe the feet. feeling how the body is opening gently, warming the muscles a little bit, creating a bit more space. And then stilling the legs, we're going to round into the back, rolling the spine as you come forward into a plank pose. Let the hips drop, opening the chest, staying on the tucked toes here, and then lift into the lower belly, rounding into the back again, coming into downward facing dog. Repeating that. Inhale, round into the back, moving through a plank pose, and then dropping the hips down to arch into the spine. Lift the chest, lift the chin, engage from the belly, rounding into the back as you move into downward facing dog. Let's do that one more time. And back into your downward facing dog. Looking between the hands, keep the legs as straight as possible as you gently walk the feet forward, lifting into flat back at the front of the mat. Let's slide the hands to the shins for a little bit of a higher flat back, making space for the spine. And then as you exhale, undulate the spine, hands coming behind the ankles. Knees can be soft or even deeply bent. Let's undulate the spine, waving up as though you're shaking out a blanket into flat back. And exhale to gently forward fold. Remember to keep the legs soft at this point. Let's lift up one more time, flat back, opening up through the heart, opening through the chest. And reaching all the way down. Again, bend your knees, tuck your chin to your chest, and lifting the body up one vertebrae at a time. Let's take the hands overhead. Hook a different thumb on top this time. Spread the fingers nice and wide, leading over to the opposite side. Inhale back to center, over to the other side, and inhaling back to center. Let's bring the elbows out wide into cactus. Lift your chest, lift your heart. And then draw the hands behind the back into neutral neck. Roll the shoulder blades together, reaching the hands to the floor but also away from the body at the same time, lowering chin to chest. Softening into the knees as you gently forward fold, allowing the arms to hang over the back body. Drop hands to the floor. Let's step the right leg back into a lunge. Squeezing into the knee, opening up the heart. Exhale to slowly drop the back knee down to the floor. Pause here for a second and then inhale the knee back up. Exhale to slowly lower down. Lift the chest in response and then lift the back knee up. Straighten the spine. One more time, slowly dropping the back leg down, and then untuck the toes as you straighten into the front leg. Walk the hands closer in towards the body. On your inhale breath, bend the knee, lift the chest up, coming onto fingertips. And as you exhale, straighten the leg, extend your spine a bit further forward. Inhale to bend, open heart, lifting the torso up, Hands still reaching down as you draw the chest back. Let's exhale, hands to the floor, straighten leg, and gently fold over your front shin. On the inhale, bending knee, float the torso up, and this time take the hands overhead. Lift up out of the lower back, extend through the body. You're going to exhale the legs straight and reach the hands back next to the hips. Gently fold. One more time, float the hands up to the sky. And then exhale, lowering the hands to the mat. Lift your back knee off the floor, engage into the quad, and then stepping into plank. Breathing deeply in your plank pose. Float your body as tall as you can. On your inhale breath, turn to the right, stepping left foot halfway up the mat. Coming into a supported side plank. Lift your hips, squeeze that straight leg. Take the top arm over the head, pointing it forward. Inhale back to the sky. Bend the elbow behind the back. Inhale up, and then reaching your hand back down to the floor. Let's come back into plank pose. Lowering knees, chest, and chin. Hold here. Engage into lower abdomen, floating arms and legs straight. Plank pose. Lowering knees, chest, and chin again. And then coming into Sphinx pose, dropping to belly and elbows. Open up through the heart, reach the toes back, lengthening lumbar spine. Slowly release down, hands under shoulders, and push back into child's pose. Knees wide, toes together. Threading the needle by sliding the right arm under the chest and turning the gaze to those right fingertips. Inhale to center, thread the needle to the other side. Inhaling to center, sliding yourself up and back into downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths in your Adho Mukha Svanasana. On the inhale breath, taking the right leg to the sky and roll the ankle in one direction. Roll the ankle in the other direction. Exhale, knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, knee to right upper arm. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, knee to left upper arm. And inhale to lift up. Exhale, stepping forward into lunge. Float the chest open and then stepping forward, flat back. Exhale, undulate the spine, lowering down, hands to floor or the back of the ankles. Lifting halfway up, shake out the spine to extend it. And exhale to forward fold. One more time, lifting halfway up. And exhale even deeper into the fold. Bend your knees, tuck chin to chest, rolling the spine up. Flow the hands all the way over, interlocking thumbs, spreading fingers wide. Inhale to the side. Back to center and over to the other side. Inhaling back to center. Open elbows into cactus. Lifting chest, lifting chin. And then interlock the fingers behind you. Remember to bring a different finger on top. Rolling the shoulder blades together. Lower chin to chest as you reach the hands away. Softening into the knees, gently forward fold. Drip the body down to the earth. Allow your body to relax and soften, release. Dropping hands to the floor, stepping the left leg into lunge. Strong into that back leg. On your exhale, start to lower the back knee, opening up through the heart. Exhale, straighten the leg, straighten the spine. Let's drop the back knee down again, lifting the chest a little bit higher, coming onto fingertips. And then lift the back knee, square the spine. One more time, drop the back knee down, this time lifting the fingers off the mat and opening the chest. Reach the hands back and down. Exhale the hands to the floor as you start to straighten the front leg. Inhale, lifting up here. Opening the heart. Exhale, forward fold over the straight leg. Inhale, bend, open up the chest, raising the hands this time. Keeping the hands off the mat as you straighten the front leg, forward folding over your front shin. One more time, lifting open. And then exhale the hands to the mat. Lift your back knee off the floor, squeezing into the thigh and stepping back into plank. Float the body in plank. Coming into side plank on the left side. Drop the left heel, right foot halfway up the mat. Lift up tall. Squeeze the straight leg. Let's inhale the hand over the ear. Inhale to the sky and then bend the elbow behind. Inhale, lift and releasing to the mat. Step yourself into plank. Lowering knees, chest and chin and holding here. Use your inhale and bandhas to come back into plank. Let's lower down, knees, chest and chin and slide into Sphinx pose. Open up the heart, open up the chest. And then releasing down into child's pose. Threading the needle, starting with the left hand this time. Inhale, center, thread the needle to the right. Inhale, center, and then slide your way back into downward facing dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Let's inhale the left foot to the sky. And roll your ankle clockwise. Roll anti-clockwise. Hugging knee to face, face to knee. Inhale to lift up. Exhale, knee to upper left arm. Inhale, up. Exhale to upper right arm. And inhale, up. Exhale, stepping foot down into lunge. And then together, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the hands all the way overhead. And exhaling, hands to heart. Let's inhale, chair pose. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, step or hop into plank. Hold your plank. We're going to come to the right side into side plank, choosing the half variation or the full variation with both feet on the floor or floating one foot on top of the other. Lower yourself back to your regular plank and moving knees, chest, chin or chaturanga to the mat. Floating the heart open into cobra. Hips on the floor, elbows bent, and the chest lifting up out of the pelvis. You can slide through child's pose if you want, or back through plank into downward facing dog. Let's inhale the right leg to the sky and stepping the foot forward, warrior two. Opening the thighs away from one another. The more you square the hips and get them the same height, the deeper you're going to feel the pull into the adductors. Press down through both big toe and baby toe side of both feet. Let's flow back through reclining warrior. And then sweeping forward into Parsvakonasana. One breath here, floating back, reclining. Forward into Parsva. Back into reclining. A little bit deeper each time. Forward into Parsva. And hold. If you've got some energy this morning, you're very welcome to float both hands parallel to one another. Otherwise, just keep the hand onto the front knee. Let's inhale, back up, opening arms, warrior two. Inhale the front leg to straighten, and then extend the body for triangle pose. Use the core to lift yourself up and back into reclining triangle. Sweeping forward and down, Trikonasana. And then And inhaling up and back, reclining. One more time, sweeping yourself forward and hold. Bringing your top hand to the hip, turn your gaze down to the front toe. We're going to slide the right hand forward and float the back leg up. Point into that back toe now, and keeping into your balance, you're going to slowly lower the toe to the mat and slowly lift the leg to the sky, flowing with your breath. Lifting the leg up, you can flex the foot now and float the hand to the sky. One more deep breath. Let's lower both hands down to the mat. You can heel toe the front foot into a more comfortable position, getting the hands flat to the mat. We're going to hop back into three-legged dog. So the left leg, which is lifted, stays lifted. You kick and float back, three-legged dog. Opening the knee to the sky. And then hugging the knee forward to the face. Look between your hands, place your foot to the floor into lunge. Inhale together, flat back. And exhale to forward fold. Inhale, bending knees, sweeping hands to the sky. And lifting all the way up to stand. Tadasana. Find your breath. Find your bandhas. And let's inhale, bending knees, hands lifting up to the sky. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And step or hop back into plank. Coming into side plank on your left side. Dropping the top foot halfway down. Stack the feet one in front of the other or one on top of the other. Let's lower both hands and feet to the floor, plank pose, and choosing knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the mat. Lifting your heart, coming into cobra pose, spread the fingers, reach the feet back, and either releasing down through child's pose or plank into downward facing dog. Breathing deeply here. Inhale the left leg to the sky. And stepping the foot forward, warrior two. Spread the legs evenly and then lift your spine up through the crown, down through the tailbone. Feel as though your spine is being pulled in two different directions. Making yourself flat against an imaginary wall down the inside line of your mat. Let's inhale back into reclining. Moving forward into Parsva. Inhaling back to reclining. And forward into Parsva. One more time into reclining warrior. Coming forward into Parsva. And then holding here. And you can either become very light onto the bottom elbow or maybe float the hand up, creating parallel lines with the arms. It's inhale, lifting the body back up, warrior two. Softening that front thigh. And then inhale to straighten. Coming forward into Trikonasana. One round of breath, and then lifting into reclining triangle. Sweeping forward, Trikonasana. Making space, feeling open, and back into reclining. One more time, Trikonasana, and hold. Turn your gaze towards your big toe, top hand to the hip. Bring your left hand forward as you float the right leg up. Let's point into those back toes. Very slowly lower the toes to the mat and then sweep the leg back up on your inhale. Flowing with your breath. Lifting up, flex into that foot and float the top arm to the sky. Let's gently release the hands to the floor. Rotate to face forward. You can heel toe the front foot a bit wider if you need to. We're going to hop back into three-legged dog. So the top leg creates a little pendulum swing. Floating back, three-legged dog. Let's hug the front knee forward into lunge. And now bring your foot to the left hand. So heel toe to the left side. Right knee is going to tuck in behind, coming to sit into Ardha Matsyendrasana. So right leg on top, left leg underneath. Have your left foot flat to the floor and the knee lifting to the sky. Sit up as tall as you can. Hug your thigh in towards your chest. And then we're going to rotate. So hug your elbow around the shin and turning to your right side. You can, of course, place your elbow to the outer edge of the thigh with the hand facing up if that feels more comfortable for your shoulder. Let's return to the center here. Now you're going to bring both hands to your left. You're going to come up onto the balls of your feet. Don't lift your feet off the floor. Turn all the way around until you're facing forward again and sitting down. And now you should have your right foot on top and your left leg underneath. Placing the right foot flat to the floor with the knee lifting up. Grow tall, draw the knee to the chest to the knee. And twist to your left. returning to center. You're now going to straighten both legs out in front of you. Lifting the spine up nice and tall, and then gently flowing your hands to the sky and extending forward, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lifting up tall, grow the spine a little bit longer, float those hands up. Let's come down for a second fold, even deeper. Remember to focus on the length of the spine as your primary movement. The length of the legs is your secondary focus. And inhale, coming back up to center. Bringing the right knee in and then placing the foot to the inner thigh. Knee opening to the side. And square off against the straight leg, floating up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, lift halfway up, bringing your right hand to the outer edge of your foot, ankle, calf, wherever it reaches. Left hand behind, and you're twisting and folding at the same time. Turn your gaze to your back hand. Turn to look forward, cross your back hand so that the wrist is crossing, and forward fold a second round. Inhale to lift yourself back up to center. Taking the right knee into the chest, holding onto the foot and then lifting your knee up so that your heel and knee are in line with one another. Grow a little bit taller here. And then start to straighten that top leg if you've got the space to do so. Very much dependent on the hamstrings here. Again, you want to focus on creating space in the spine. And now you're going to hold onto your big toe. You can bring the other hand to the thigh. Open your foot out wide to the side. Kick your heels away from one another so the front leg is engaged as well. And it's the tensegrity through the two legs that gives you extra space here. Slowly bring that foot to the floor. You're now facing between the triangle of the legs and gently forward fold. Inhale, lift yourself back up to center. You're going to float the wide leg out, bringing it forward, sitting up tall, Dandasana. Let's bring the left knee to the chest and placing the foot onto the floor. Square yourself over your straight leg and gently forward fold. Lift yourself up halfway, Bringing the left hand to the outside of your foot, ankle, or calf. Right hand behind, and you twist and fold at the same time. You can lightly grip into your front hand, gently bending the elbow to give you a bit of torque to rotate back. Let's turn the gaze forward, taking the back hand and crossing over the front wrist as you fold a second round. Inhale to lift yourself all the way back up. Taking the bent knee into the chest, holding onto that foot, and then floating the heel up so it's in line with the knee. So we start in this half position to get length into the spine. You kick against the heel to grow up, and then you can float the leg straight if you've got the space to do so. So try not to lean too far back as you do this. You want to grow the chest and the shin towards each other, feeling as though you're lifting to the sky. You can rest your hand down to your thigh, open the foot out into a wide V, lift up nice and tall, and then with control, lower the foot to the floor. Lift up through the spine and gently fold. On your inhale, come back to center, lift the leg that's wide, bringing it in with control, releasing down. Coming now to lie on your back. And hugging both knees into your chest. Inhale, both arms open to the side, and exhale the knees to the right. Inhaling to the center, over to the left. Inhaling to the center, straighten the right leg on the floor and drop just the top knee to the right. Drawing back to center, hug the right knee in and extend the left leg down and drop to the left. Inhaling to the center, and this time wrap the left leg around the right thigh, dropping to the right. We're going to hold here now, adjusting your alignment to be able to really release and surrender into this twist. Come back to center, switch the legs around, right over left, and drop to the left. Holding here for a few breaths. Gently melting away the tension, letting go of resistance. And then returning to center, unwrap the legs, hug both knees into your chest. Finding a neutral space where the lower back and the hips are even and neutral. From here, making your way into your final relaxation pose. Spreading the hips, the toes, the hands, the arms, lengthening the head, softening the neck, the skin around your skull, softening the space between your eyebrows, relaxing your jaw, relaxing your tongue. Slowly start to deepen and lengthen your breath. Gently running your thumb over the tips of your fingers, moving your toes, your ankles, your wrists. Stretching your arms overhead, drawing the feet together, taking a deep, energizing stretch as you yawn or sigh. Bending your knees, rolling onto your side. Keeping your eyes softly closed as you lift into a comfortable seated position. Drawing your hands together to heart center in Anjali Mudra. We'll close the class by chanting Om once and Shanti 3 times. Taking a deep breath in. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Raising your hands to your third eye. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Lowering your hands to your lips, to your heart, to your mat. Bowing forward in recognition of your practice. Blinking eyes open. Inhaling to lift. Namaste.